Well, it's almost 9:15, so I'm going to turn the program over to Sonora. We know we can't travel right now, but when we can, this lady will help you take the trip of your dreams. So kind of walk us through what we can be doing, Sonora, to prepare for that next trip after COVID, when we're all just dying to get out of our homes and our communities and go see something new.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you so much for everyone being on and staying on for my presentation. As Kim said, travel is, I used to say travel is at a standstill, but people are traveling. It's just that it's not as many people as in the past. I just received an article yesterday, and I was just going to kind of talk about that a little bit before we start my presentation. And it told about the 6 cities that were having tremendous success as far as people traveling. The Puerto Vallarta has had 2.5 million people travel there since COVID. Los Cabos has had 3 million. Now you'll notice most of these are in Mexico. Guadalajara has had 8.1 million. Cancun has had 12.3 million. Mexico City has had 16.4 million. So with that said, the islands look to travel for their livelihood. And if people don't go there, the islands just actually, I mean, it's a third world country, and they make their living from tourists. And so Mexico and the Dominican Republic have done a phenomenal job as far as making sure safety protocols are in place. The hotels are only at 30 to 50% capacity, but a lot of the other islands have very, very, very low numbers. It's actually safer to be on an island than it is to be in the United States. And I really hate to say that, but it's just the truth.
Well, you've convinced me.
It's really safer. I mean, they've had deaths, yes, but they've had like 100 people or 39 people or 206 people. I mean, they haven't had the kind of deaths that we've had. And they know that if people don't come to their locations, that they starve. I mean, literally, they could starve. And so the islands are wide open. So I'm going to start the presentation. Then I have about 3 other things, and then we'll just close this out. Minnie wanted to say hello to everybody today. I thought I would do something fun. Disneyland is open. Universal Studios is open. In fact, we had one client. I have 6 independent agents, and one of my agents that's in Florida sent a lady to Disney, and she had to wait in line for 4 hours to go to get in to see one of the things that her and her family wanted to do. 4 hours. So that tells you how many people were at Disney. They were social distance. They had on masks. They're doing everything right down there. But I mean, you wait in line for 4 hours to get on a ride. I mean, that's just almost crazy. So anyway, I was featured on the front of a Travel Agent magazine. And so I always start all my presentations with this. But I just want to welcome you to my presentation. We at Paradise look forward to serving the community here in Grandview. We have been here in Grandview for a lot of years. I'm not even going to say how many. And unfortunately, we don't have a lot of clients in Grandview. So I'm just trying to get our name out in the city that I live in and trying to let people know that we are here. We're here to serve you. We offer excellent service. There's 7 of us. We have someone on staff that's got 38 years service in the travel industry, all the way down to 5 years service in the travel industry. So we know our stuff, and we're able to assist you. Sharon, next slide. Okay, so I just wanted to give you a few travel points. First of all, check your passport and its expiration date. If it expires this year, 21, you need to go ahead and get it renewed if you're going to be traveling in 22. And you can take a picture of this slide if you want to with your phone. If you're not going out of the country, you say, well, I don't need my passport. I don't have a passport. I'm not going out of the country. Can you go back to, right. That's okay. You don't need to get a passport. But if you're going to fly within the United States, you have to have a real ID on your driver's license. And that's been extended twice. And right now, it has to be done by October of this year. And it's free through the Driver's License Bureau. If you don't have that ID and you want to travel within the US after October, you will not be able to get on the plane. So if you have any friends that you know that travel a lot, but they fly a lot, but they don't go out of the US, no problem. Let them know they have to have the real ID. If you're planning on, you need to plan on taking the COVID test before leaving on your trip out of the US. And now, this just came out day before yesterday, effective January the 26th of this month. If you leave the US, you cannot come back into the US without a COVID test. So if you're going anywhere out of the US, that came out by the CDC. I've been told that Biden's administration is going to try to turn that around. But as of right now, today, and this is all very liquid, you have to have a COVID test to come back into the US. So if you have any friends that are traveling, please let them know that they have to have a COVID test to come back. If you are going to be traveling, you need to buy travel protection insurance. It's a must. We had customers throughout the travel industry, not all my customers, who lost thousands. Actually, the numbers are in the millions of dollars that travelers lost because they stubbornly, and I say stubbornly, did not buy travel protection, because their two common phrases is, oh, I'm going no matter what, or, oh, nothing's going to happen. Well, something always happens, and sometimes you don't get to go. And if you don't buy travel insurance, you get no money back. And so millions of dollars was lost nationwide because people didn't have travel insurance. We have taken the stand at Paradise that we are adding that to all of our packages. And if you don't want to buy travel insurance, after we strongly suggest it to you, we're going to ask that. We used to say that you could sign a waiver saying that we asked you to buy it, but you didn't want to buy it. But we're really going to refer you to somebody else. We've been telling people to consider taking the COVID vaccine. A lot of people have said, I'm not going to take it. It's going to give me COVID, whatever. I have a doctor that is a very close family friend, and she did a video that explains what the vaccine is. And that's her link if you would like to watch it. It explains what it is, what's in it, what it does to your body, what it doesn't do to your body. I wasn't going to take the vaccine, but once I saw her video, I will now take the vaccine. Next slide. Where'd Sharon go? Oh, there we go. Okay, so because we're not selling any travel, and we haven't since March, my phones just don't ring at all. I just couldn't sit here and not do anything. So I decided to do travel education. So every 2 weeks, I'm doing free virtual travel shows, free and open to the public, just to show you what's out there, what's available. What does all-inclusive really mean? Are cruises all-inclusive? What does going on a river cruise mean? Can I do something besides a cruise or a resort? And so we started doing this in November. And to be quite honest, my first one had 2 people. And I started to just give up. But I thought, everything starts small. Walmart started in the trunk of a car, I think. And so I decided to go ahead and keep doing them. And the one that I had this past week was quite successful. So I have them set up through March. And we had one on the 14th with Ama Waterways, because I have put together a river cruise for the Christmas market in Europe that's going to be in December. And it's open for people to buy into, pay your deposit, and go on that river cruise. That's the only one that I actually set up as a live event for people to do. The rest of them have all been educational. So on the 28th, we're going to walk through the island of the Dominican Republic, and we're going to look at the resorts in Punta Cana. Why? Because a lot of people don't realize you can go places in the Dominican besides Punta Cana. You can go to Puerto Plata. You can go just stay in the capital city. So we're going to walk through that with the head of the Visitors and Convention Bureau for the Dominican, Wendy. And then on the 11th, Villas of Distinction, we partnered with them. They have condos and villas all over the world, but they have a lot in the United States. So we partnered with them because a lot of people don't want to go to hotels or resorts. They want to take their whole family and just be in a house, a 6-bedroom house, a 12-bedroom house, have your own tennis court, your own swimming pool, your own chef, your own butler, or none of that, but you just want to all be together in a multi-bedroom house. And so we partnered with them, and they're going to walk us through what's available in the U.S. Coming back on February the 25th, we're going to do a deep dive into the Christmas market cruise to show you the ports that cruise will stop at and what you'll see. And then on the 11th of March, we're going to show you what you can do with Amtrak vacations throughout the U.S. Amtrak is one of the suppliers that have had no COVID cases. So you can get on a train and go anywhere in the US. It's clean, it's safe, they do wonderful protocols. I talked with the guy that works at Amtrak a couple months ago, and I was just blown away. I thought, I've been in this business 20 years, so I just kind of consider myself almost an expert. But I learned a whole lot about the US I didn't know about. I've been all over the Caribbean, 17 islands, 35 cruises. I can tell you about the Caribbean inside and out, but I learned stuff about the US where I live that I didn't even know. So we're going to do Amtrak vacation on the 11th, and then the end of March, we're going to do Carnival Cruise Line. Okay, next one. So where can I go now and be somewhat safe? You can go to destinations within the US, Amtrak vacations, as I mentioned, most of the islands, river cruising in Europe as soon as they open up Europe for us to be able to go back into Europe, and then river cruises in the US. There's lots and lots of river cruises right here in the US where you get up close and personal with cities all along the river. And there's 2 different cruise lines that do that right here in the US. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so this is a sample of when you go to my Facebook page, what the invite will look like. This was the one from the Christmas market. You just register online. It's absolutely free. It's from 6 to 7 in the evening. You can ask any questions you want to ask. This one was a sales pitch, but the other ones have not been, and the future ones won't be. I put this cruise together because this is something I wanted to do, and so I wanted to invite others to join me on that. And I think I just have one more slide. Oh, this slide is all my contact information. If you want to take a picture of that with your cell phone, it's my email address, my website, my Facebook page, the contact form to be able to get in touch with me. Like I said, this month, January, I've gotten 7 phone calls. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, but for a small business that's had no phone calls, those 7 phone calls have been a delight. 10 people to Hawaii, 10 people to Vegas. I was like, I can absolutely help you. So the phones are starting to slowly ring, but I think that because I've done these virtual shows and I've been out on Facebook so much that social media, my algorithm is higher, and now people are finding me. So I do have some travel going on right now, and I'm just so grateful to God for it. So if you have a travel need, or if you just have a question, I'm here to answer your questions, to give you ideas, suggestions, educate the public right now. So that's my contact information. I thank the Chamber for letting me host the first 2021 Morning Connection. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Senora, before we wrap up, you've explained this to me before, and so, if I can go out and book all this stuff on my own, why would I use a travel agent? I think some people think they pay extra fees for using a travel agent, but you had explained to me that, it's the resorts and different places that actually pay for your services.
Correct. The
So-
tour operators that we use pay us. So if we book through GoGo, Pleasant Holidays, Classic Vacation, FunJet, Southwest Vacation, they pay us to do the work for them. They have inside reps that they pay a hourly salary to. But for travel agencies and travel agents within agencies, they pay us a commission to book things for them. So I, as a travel agency, I don't charge fees unless I book air only. Some people don't know how to book air on their own still in 2021. But so because the airlines don't pay us, if we book customers for them, I have to charge a fee if I book air only. But on packages, the tour operators pay us. Now, the reason to use a travel agent instead of doing it yourself is because if you work at the chamber and you're not a plumber, why would you try to plumb your house? Yeah. If you don't know how to cut down a tree, why would you try to cut down your own tree? So I'm experienced, I'm trained, I've been there, I've done that. I get 300 emails a day about everything pertaining to travel, and you don't have to pay me. So I'm working for you free, and they pay me to do the work for you. So, I mean, I do, and I want to say with that, all of the people who book travel on their own pre-COVID to travel during COVID lost thousands of dollars, thousands and thousands of dollars. So that's the reason to use a travel agency and a travel agent.
Good. I always like to bring that up to have you explain that.
I always forget to say it. Yeah.
You do a great job. Everybody, let's give Senora a round of applause for a good virtual hosting this morning. We're just about approaching 9:30.